Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking and subscribing the channel is free and easy, and it helps me out a lot. If you want to go a little farther with your support, I have Patreon and YouTube membership available, which includes access to the BoshNRoll Discord server, early access to things I'm working on, sideboard plans, cards I'm buying. You could have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use the YouTube membership option, you get sweet, unique YouTube badges and emotes for the channel. If you want to play what I'm playing, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support my channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com. And if you're playing on Magic Online, a cardhoarder.com loan account can let you play any deck anytime. If you want to wear your support, there is BoshNRoll merch available. All of these links are in the video description below. Thank you so much for watching. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and this is an update on my trusty Bant Control. This is the deck I've been most associated with, put the most work in. I've played it at all of my live Legacy events in the past few months. This is where I am in Legacy right now. But I ran into a pretty significant problem while I was playing this deck in person. And the problem is that the clock, the round clock in person, is a completely different animal than the chess clock on Magic Online. The Bant deck is not great at winning the game quickly. And in real life, when you're sharing, like, you can manage your chess clock on Magic Online, just ponder quickly, don't think too much about little things, and make sure you're saving your tanking for when it's really important. But in real life, when your opponent shares the clock with you, they're cracking fetch lands, they're shuffling, they're thinking about their plays, and that's eating up your clock too. My last live tournament I played in, I went 3, 1, and 2 with 2 unintentional draws. And my opponents weren't playing slow. I would always play quickly, and it just, the deck took that long. If you don't win game 1, you're already playing for a draw. It's a bad scene, and I think it's a real knock on the deck in tournament viability. So I put in some work to see if we can increase the clock, like make this deck, give this deck the ability to attack harder. And the thing that I found to do that with is Field of the Dead. Field of the Dead is a card that rewards you in a big way for just making land drops, which is something that Bant wants to do anyway. And Uro jumps you ahead on land drops. There's some synergy here. Uro plus Field of the Dead ruined Standard for a while, so these two have history together. It was also extremely powerful in Modern. And the field, just, the problem with Bant is that all of its threats are just one thing at a time. Like Endurance is a pretty good body for its rate. It has Flash, but 1 Swords to Plowshares and it's gone. Or 1 Murktide Regent, blocking it, it's gone. Dark Typhoon, awesome card. Instant speed, can't be countered, cantrips, 1 removal spell, it's gone. Same thing with Uro. Draws a card when it comes into play, fixes your lands, and then it's gone. But Field of the Dead, every time you make a land drop making a thing, that can wade through the grindy control matchups. I'm talking about the Ragavan Saga decks, and then Yorion Taxes. Like, those sort of decks, they play a lot of removal, and Bant doesn't have a lot of threats, so they'll always have removal for your threat. And you might deck them eventually if you are endurancing yourself and working through their stuff, and you just stay alive long enough that they lose, which might work on Magic Online but doesn't work in real life. Field of the Dead is what I'm trying in this particular science experiment to turn that around. In order to support Field of the Dead, because you need 7 or more lands with different names, I have made some pretty big changes to the deck to accommodate that. First, you'll notice the basics are split between snow and non-snow, which means there is no Icefang Coatl in this deck. But I think that's okay. That card's stock has been going way down anyway. Recently, when I've been playing Bant, I've been playing Bant with a red splash, and the red splash means that I generally want to be fetching dual lands anyway, and just the ability to cast your spells is more important than having a 1/1 Death Touch in Legacy right now, and Icefang Coatl went from a 4 up to a 3 to a 2. I was playing 1, and I was like, okay, let's just cut that at this point. So I cut my last Coatl, added a second Shark Typhoon in its spot, because it's basically a 1/1 cantrip without Death Touch either way, and Shark Typhoon has higher upside going along. So Shark Typhoon's in that spot, was able to split the basics. Brackus is back in the deck. This is a good card that's always just right on the edge of playability. Sometimes I play it in normal Bant, sometimes I don't, but while we're looking for different kinds of lands to play, this is in there. All the dual lands and Basics you'd expect. Wasteland, there's a 1 of in the main deck and a 1 of in the sideboard. That replaces Back to Basics as your land control plan, because you can't really play Back to Basics in this build with all these crazy different lands in here. And you probably could only bring it in when it's really worse for them than it is for you. But I'm going to try it with Wasteland and without that for now. Ketria Triome was kind of a decision. I had Lonely Sandbar in this spot first, but I think that having access to 4 colors for your prismatic endings sometimes is worth more than being able to dredge and cycle cheaper. Sometimes, like Sandbar cycles for 1 while this cycles for 3, but Sandbar taps for blue and you can't find it, while this taps for red and you can fetch it with any fetch land in the deck. So, or not Prismatic Vista, any of the other fetch lands in the deck, but you can turn on ending for 4 if you think you might need it. That's what I've done with the mana base. Sylvan Library is out, Life from the Loam is in. Sylvan Library is a card that has gotten worse since the printing of Prismatic Ending. Library used to be a card that was unanswerable in the main deck, and also pretty hard to answer out of the sideboard because you can't red blast it. But every control deck just has 4 Vindicates in the main deck now, and they can answer Sylvan Library on curve, just get rid of that thing. So that's not great. Life from the Loam plays into this land strategy. It also sidesteps Prismatic Ending, and that's the other core innovation here. The rest of these cards should look pretty familiar. I am up to 4 Uro because the lands thing is so important here, which does expose me to Surgical Extraction out of the board, but Surgical Extraction hitting an Uro is they're spending a card to answer a thing that already drew a card. So that's medium, and you can play around it if you really expect it. Just wait till you have 7 mana and Uro plus Escape all at one time. But that's the deck. The sideboard, there is 1 Wasteland to go with the lands package, Null Rod, and I took kind of a hate bear approach to this sideboard because the Field of the Dead thing should be pretty crushing in fair matchups out of the main deck anyway. So I have Meddling Mage, Collector Oof, Ethersworn Canonist, and Containment Priest out of this board to just really hammer home the hate against the decks that won't care about Field of the Dead. And that's what I'm doing. This league brought to you, by the way, my Discord community. They have a sub channel called the Bant Lovers Association, and the Bant Lovers Association has been asking for an update video, and YouTube Mayor subscriber Brendan asked me to play this for him this month as his monthly donation deck. And I also have perennial channel subscriber and supporter Spunky, who really wanted to see the Field of the Dead version. So this one is for them, and it's also for me because I've been wanting to try this. Let's get into this. I'm on the draw in the first round. I'm going to keep this hand. I wish it had a cantrip in it, but it does have Prismatic Ending up into Uro. Shark Typhoon can draw a card if it has to. Oh. Okay. My opponent clicked into their second main and weirded me out for a second. I've been thought seized by a basic swamp. What deck does this in Legacy these days? It could be some like Pox meme. It could be a combo deck. Okay, they're not a combo deck if they took Prismatic Ending. That's weird. Okay. I think I'm going to use this Misty Rainforest to fetch for the Ketria Triome. Unless they're Pox, then that's a terrible play. We'll see what they do this turn. Oh, they're Dead Gaia. This is going to be a Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. And the Dress Down showed up a little too late for that one. Got Umezawa's Jitte. Alright. I can just not fetch this. Use basic lands to try to maneuver this game. They are a Wasteland deck. Wasteland's going to get me eventually, but I don't need to let it get me when I'm not even set up yet, so I'm just going to draw. Okay, cool. Now I'm playing on basics. I can dress down if I need to this turn. I could do, if they don't do anything I need to respond to, I could do the end step dress down, untap, play 6/6 Uro. It's in play now. Good luck. This smells like a cauldron all day. There it is. Okay. I can play dress down and remove all of the abilities of this card, but it doesn't matter. I guess I could have taken haste off of it. Yeah, maybe saving 5 damage there is worth it. I could have dressed down in my own end step so they couldn't activate Stoneforge Mystic. That was the play. Alright, I've already let this one slip a little more than I needed to. I'm gonna get a Snow Forest because I can. What does that do to all your aesthetic sensibilities? I don't love it. And this does play into Swords to Plowshares in a way that makes Uro kind of bad. But I think that's okay. I think having Uro in play is going to be pretty important. Ooh. I could just skip the dress down, take my losses there, Wasteland them, and next turn Swords to Plowshares, the 5/5. They missed their land drop. And if I can take them off white, then they can't plow my Uro. But then I won't have the Uro. Bummer. Alright. If I just played normal, this would have been a lot better. Okay, I'll make it work. I'll play my Savannah. I will commit to the line. Here's Uro. Dress down dies. They activated and then untapped Stoneforge Mystic. That's weird. Oh, they're equipping Jitte to the Cauldron this turn. That's fine. Oh, they're putting in Batterskull and casting Jitte? Is that the plan? They're just juicing up this board. They just have all their weapons in hand. Okay. This is fine. I can beat this. Thoughtseize, oh no. My Swords to Plowshares. Okay, now I'm not beating this quite so much. They've managed to line their Thoughtseizes up really well this game, taking my 2 removal spells. Well done. They can't really attack with Cauldron though, because then I get to crunch in with Uro. But how about a removal spell? I'll take a Brainstorm anytime. Okay, another Uro, a Jace. Jace can remove Cauldron on a future turn. So I'm going to tuck Field of the Dead and Jace on top of the deck in that order. I'm going to waste them off white mana before they do anything else. And then I'm going to pass the turn. Because Cauldron just eats Uro straight up, puts it right in the graveyard. Or right in exile, not even the graveyard. And I don't think the 3 life make a land drop trigger is worth it on its own. Now I get to shove Jace the Mind Sculptor into play. Bounce their Cauldron Germ. That Germ's out of here. And I think I want to hold for a turn. Let Uro defend Jace from all the horrible things that could happen to it if I just attack. Uh-oh. Please don't have plow. Shit. Okay, they had to draw a white source to pay that out, and they did. At least Cauldron's gone. I'll take that for what it's worth right now. A pretty good draw from them, though. Jace is gone. I'm drawing Field of the Dead. I think I want to Uro, so I can re-Uro next turn. And leaving up white mana looks like it makes sense. Wish I had a Hydra, but of course I do not. I think leaving up white or Brainstorm Ponder versus... I have 7 Brainstorms and Ponders in the deck versus 6 removal spells. Alright, I'm gonna leave up blue. Chose poorly. Alright, it's fine. I can exile the Germ next turn. If I draw a green or white source... Okay, they have Caracas. Doesn't matter. Or I just got a lot worse. Jitte's in play. At least my opponent's making this exciting. If they didn't draw the planes last turn, the game would be over already. But now we're having some fun. Maybe I'll draw Loam and get my Wasteland going. Yeah, I am not gonna just jam Uro into the Caracas. Really interested in Light from the Loam here. Misty Rainforest. I will take that. That keeps things moving forward. I could just throw Uro into play and draw the card, make them activate Caracas, but they're going to do it anyway. Like, it's not really like making them do anything. They know about Shark Typhoon. I guess if I exile the Germ, if I exile Germ, I can eat Stoneforge Mystic in combat with my Shark, and then we have a stable board versus all their weapons. And I'm 1 land away from starting to zombie out. Right, they're going for it. See if their last card is another plow. They know about Shark Typhoon. I'm gonna get Tundra here. Get my colors all the way set up. And importantly, it's a different land name. Making a 2/2 Shark. They had the plow. That's okay. Umezawa's Jitte doesn't line up well against Uro with Field of the Dead. That was a 2-for-1, and I'll take it. Ponder. So I can Ponder and try to get Field of the Dead crunch in. Yeah, I think Ponder makes sense. Like any fetch land makes 2 zombies. Snow-covered island. Glad I split those basics up. Don't shuffle. Play the island. Get a zombie. And then I'm going to exile Stoneforge Mystic. Is there a way to leave? Yeah, I can still cast Endurance. I can't cast Uro and get rid of Stoneforge Mystic, but I can still cast Endurance. Okay. They have 2 cards left in their hand. And discard spells aren't good anymore because my only card in hand has Flash. Edgemore Witch, that's a cool one. 3/2 Ward Menace. Haven't seen that in a minute. That card was hot for a little while. Are they going to use their graveyard? I don't know. I don't think they really want to draw Thoughtseizes and Dark Rituals at this point, so if they have a fetch land, sprinkling up there, putting all those bad draws back into their deck seems fine. Blue, 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 green, green, blue, green. Yeah, so I'm going to draw the second Uro. Should attack first, I think. So Sedgemoor Witch. Picking up the Jitte is kind of shitty. Blue, blue, green, green. It'll be a 7/6. Okay. I can attack with Zombie. Make Uro. Oh, no, I don't have 4 green. Did I attack with everything or nothing? I think it's everything, right? That's everything. Just get in there with my damages. I did the math for Uro plus other Uro, and I did not do the math for Uro plus Endurance. Life from the Loam is in my deck, and Endurance is in my deck as considerations to leave cards in my graveyard. There is no Snapcaster Mage. So here's the first Uro. Draws the second Uro. Second Uro. I hope I choose the correct one here. Keep this one, I hope. Okay, they're just conceding? Wow. I thought that was close. But I guess they don't have faith in their Sedgemoor Witch. Alright, cool. Deal. Field of the Dead. Chugga, 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 chugga. Okay, so against this Stoneforge Mystic deck, I want Force of Vigor, Engineered Explosives. They're like built on 2-drops. Null Rod, Collector Oof, all good stuff. Torpor Orb. Endurance doesn't really need to trigger in this matchup, and neither does Uro. And their deck is based on Stoneforge Mystic. We saw Sedgemoor Witch, though, who doesn't care about Torpor Orb. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I think I do want the Terminuses. I just got to keep the board clear until they're dead. That's basically the whole plan. Flusterstorm is viable against their discard spells and Dark Rituals. Definitely better than Force of Negation. Dress Down is fine, but I'm not in love with it. I don't think I need all 4 Force of Wills. There's a good chance they have some potent graveyard hate, like Rest in Peace. In which case, maybe the Life from the Loam is worse, but Prismatic Ending will answer it in a long game anyway, so I don't need to worry too much about that. Still need to cut a lot more cards here. And maybe I don't need all 4 Uro in case they are a surgical deck. Don't want to be overexposed to that. I'll cut another Force. I think I'll maybe 1 Terminus, 1 Flusterstorm. No, because Flusterstorm is a card I want early if I'm going to have it. So flustering their Plow and just like letting Uro ride is pretty cool. Do I cut a Dress Down for that? I think I want 2 Force of Will still in the deck. Endurance doesn't do a whole lot other than is a 3/4 body, which is not nothing. And I think I do want to keep it for that reason. Dress Down, clipping a Stoneforge Mystic is a big deal, or removing all the abilities from an equipped creature is also a big deal. I think I like Flusterstorm better than that, though. Alright, because I boarded in Collector Oof. Okay, this is my plan. This hand's pretty good. I'm going to keep it. Got some removal, Brainstorm, and Loam. Basic Swamp, go. Play. I like that play. I'm going to play Windswept Heath, because I'm probably going to fetch Tundra if I'm going to like plow Stoneforge Mystic, untap, and cast Brainstorm. Hey, just like we drew it up. We searched for Cauldron complete. I'm pretty sure clipping the Stoneforge is better than clipping the Cauldron. It just plays on curve. It also, like, Stoneforge enables things other than Cauldron. And Cauldron is a dead card in their hand without Stoneforge anyway. They're a long way off of 7 mana. Okay, cool. I get to Brainstorm, and then I have a 1-drop in the form of Ponder. And I don't need all these lands. So, sucking Terminus on the top is kind of fun. But I don't think I need that right away. And I found a second Brainstorm to go with it. Yeah, especially with the Loam in hand, I really don't need all these lands. I'm just going to Ponder. I can set up this Terminus with a Brainstorm on a later turn. There's not even a guarantee they'll have a creature this turn. They haven't shown me that they're doing any discard stuff this game. Endurance, Shark, Typhoon, Uro. Basically always want Uro in my hand. And Endurance is the beefiest creature here, so I'll put Uro in hand and keep this. I guess I could have put Uro on the bottom of the pile, drawn Endurance, and then Shark Typhoon, and then dredge the Uro straight into the graveyard. That would have been a play. Oh, bummer. Oh, well, at least I get to draw a card. Or no, I get to make a zombie. They're probably naming Uro. But that is shuffling away all my other stuff. Yep. Uro's gone. I get a zombie from the Necromentia. Rough. Still think I'm miles ahead in this game. But I have this zombie now. Let's party with it. I think I want to Brainstorm, fetch, do a full 3-point Loam. Yeah, that's the play. Brainstorm, put back Savannah and Terminus. Like, I know I'm about to shuffle the Terminus away, but I just used my Brainstorm, so it's not going to help in my hand anyway. Get that Savannah, play from the Loam, all 3 of these. Called Ancestral Recall. And start the zombie beats. A little ahead of schedule. They gave me one. That was my whole plan anyway. I am glad I pivoted off of the all 4 Uros, though. There's a good chance that a black deck has some sort of way to get rid of them. I'm not going to dredge Loam. Oh, drew the Terminus immediately. I'm in no rush to dredge this Loam. It's mostly in the deck to hit land drops. It's not really... This isn't like lands or an actual dedicated Loam deck where you just throw 3 cards in the graveyard every turn and eventually find all the pieces to what you're looking for. Like, these really are just land drops. I'm extremely insulated against like Liliana of the Veil or Hymn to Tarok or just that kind of thing at this point. Are they hard casting Batterskull here? What is that 5th mana for? Oh, they're casting Cauldron. That's even better. I have Swords to Plowshares. Get rid of that. Okay, Cauldron complete. Trigger. Get rid of that. Leaving up my green so I can still cast Endurance and beat down. And step Endurance here. Can get a 3/3 Shark next turn if nothing else happens. Then I'm untapping into Terminus like on hard mode. If they somehow wiggle out of this, I'll get my basic island. I think I'm just already extremely exposed to Wasteland at this point. Okay, I don't think they want to draw Mars Flats, Dark Ritual, or Necromentia this game. So I'll put them back in their deck. Still not dredging Loam. Flusterstorm's pretty cool. In for 5. Next turn it'll be in for 8. Shark. And there's 6 land drop. I wonder if there's any mana producing lands left in their deck. I guess we saw Caracas, but like, they gotta be close to running out here. Damn. Destroy each creature. Can't be regenerated. Oh, they even played around Flusterstorm like a boss. Well done. Okay, cool. Got the Shark Typhoon to keep it going. Do I make a 2/2 Shark to make sure it doesn't get plowed? No, I think if they had plow, they would have done it already. Gonna get a basic forest. And Field of the Dead is always looming. Still not ready to dredge Loam. Oh, they did have Fatal Push. Okay, fine. Not worried about it. Now we play the waiting game, I guess. I can just drop this explosives into play on 2 and get ahead of most of the things that they have, but they have Sedgemoor Witch, and I can just cast Terminus for any of these things anyway. There's Batterskull, hard mode. That one's actually trouble because they have enough mana to pick it up and redeploy it every other turn, and we are in that grindy situation. I'm not going to fetch for anything here, because if I find my field, I get to immediately get an extra zombie. I can't make 5 mana in the deck, unfortunately. Let's get rid of that. If I could have one more color of mana, I could exile the Batterskull forever, but I don't. I can't. They're 1 mana away from bouncing and replaying Batterskull every turn. God, what is this 8-drop? Please get Flusterstormed. Or it's 7. What are they doing with 7? That was weird. They just floated mana and then didn't do anything, and then Shame conceded. Yeah, I'm not sure what was supposed to just happen there, but okay. GG's. On the play in the second round, keeping this one. Swords of Plowshares will help keep me alive long enough to get this Uro going, which is the whole plan of this build of the deck. If they're a combo deck, it's whatever. But this hand is perfectly fine in any sort of pair matchup where we're going to play a few turns. Drop Ponder. Okay. And they have all the cool arts, so we know they're serious. I said that in the video the other day. I was like, oh, this person has all the cool art. They must be serious. And then in the comments, they pointed out it was Guillaume Wafotapa, who is very serious about Magic. They shuffled their Ponder. I'm not ready to just fetch the Ketria Triome yet. Now I have Force of Will and Swords of Plowshare, so I'm protected against fair and unfair things. This could be... Alright, Scalding Tarn is not in the Bant Mirror. This could be an Omni deck where... The Scalding Tarn usually isn't in the Omni deck either. You play Misty Rainforest, but you'll have more than 4 fetches, so maybe some of them would just be generic blue fetches. Oh, Chrome Mox. This is fun. What are we doing? Oh, they're a Storm strategy. Yeah, that's a Burning Wish. Okay. Wishclaw Talisman. And they're holding up... Ugh. I hate that they're holding up the Veil of Summer. That's such a blowout here. But if I don't counter this now, then they'll definitely have Veil next turn. I'm going to force pitching Uro, because I can cycle Shark Typhoon for 0 at the end step and look for an answer to Wishclaw. Yeah, I mean, they telegraph that from a mile away, but if you let them have the Wishclaw, then they can just wish for the thing next turn. So I want Savannah and Basic Island, I think. And I'm just going to cycle this for 0. I'm looking for Prismatic Ending. Or just like any action here. Waddle would have been slightly better in that situation. Okay, I did find some action, and it was the second card down, so I did have to make that cycle with Typhoon to get here. But that also really telegraphs desperation. They know I'm weak right now because I fired off that Typhoon for 0. My sideboard is pretty stacked for this matchup. Like I have 2 Null Rods. Alright, they just cast a Brainstorm. I have the Oof and actual Null Rod, and then also Canonist. Meddling Mage. Like this is 2 Flusterstorms. This is exactly what I said in the deck tech of the main deck is skewed pretty hard against fair decks, and then you just dedicate most of your sideboard to combo. They brainstormed up an Orm's Chant, and I'm not going to give them the Storm of countering that because I don't have a follow-up anyway. They can just do what they want to do. 1 card left plus the Talisman activation. Storm is for 5 mana available. Burning Wish, that's a pretty good card. Got Echo, so they're going to wish for LED with their Talisman and spin with Echo. Okay. They'll have 2 black floating when they get to the other side. They've already made their land drop. They might untap again. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, they left blue-black floating. That makes more sense. This is a handful of spells. If we get a turn to do stuff. Maybe. Oh, plus I have my Wishclaw Talisman now. Found a Lion's Eye Diamond. Guess I have to turn off my auto yields because I can still cycle Shark Typhoon. And still spend mana this turn. Oh, they have a second Echo. Okay. So they're spending LED mana to get another LED and go again. I think I cycle my Typhoon here. I'm not using this mana for anything else, and it's not getting better. Yeah, I'll just get my 1/1 in where I can. I'll fetch. Storm is already lethal. Going from 17 to 16 isn't the difference between tendrils and not tendrils. Not a spell. Here it is. Okay, now I can F6 and let them kill me. 7 fresh cards. They have blue-red floating. Storm is infinite. Brainstorm. Okay. That's not Burning Wish. I'll take it. Oh, they're passing the turn. Got a turn, folks. What do I want to do, if anything, with these Wishclaw Talismans? The answer is probably just leave them in play. I could wish for 2 forces, but then they can wish for 2 answers to my 2 forces. I think I need to start with a Brainstorm, because my hand's full of bad cards right now. Prismatic Ending's cool. I don't need Karakas or Plains. Opponent said that's a bummer in the chat. I concur. For you, anyway. It's pretty nice for me. Attack for 1. I could wish for Force of Will and then exile the Wishclaw Talisman, or I could ending their Chrome Mox and just take them off red. I could also just leave up Endurance. I'm going to end the Mox. Get it out. And press down doesn't matter. I think I want to Brainstorm and get rid of a bunch of these plows. I'm going to get Tundra with that. And I think I want to do all this now, because then it doesn't build Storm on their turn. None of this went super well. Pretty awkward. But I'm not going to wish with Talisman. I can wish in my upkeep. If I untap, I can wish in my upkeep, shuffle away those things, and exile the Talisman I gave them. Ponder action. Both of the Echoes are in exile now. They play 1 main, 1 board, and they're both gone. They're down 2 Burning Wishes as well. They're down 2 Wishclaw Talismans. Like, their hits in their deck are pretty slim right now. Okay, so you can Wishclaw on your own turn. It doesn't say as a sorcery. So I'm going to Wishclaw in my upkeep to shuffle that Brainstorm. I think I want Force of Negation. Yeah, that one's more hard castable. Draw for turn. Some fresh looks. I'm Force of Will to go with it. Not bad. I'm going to attack for 1 and then end the Talisman. I think ending Talisman is better than leaving up Hardcast Force, because the Talisman represents something that I have to force, and or a Veil of Summer that breaks both of my forces. So ending the Talisman is the same or better than leaving up a second force. Found red mana. Okay, every land in their deck is accounted for. I think I want to dress down in the end step just to cycle, or do I want to keep it as a blue card? No, I think it's better as a blue card. I changed my mind. Ponder right here. Play from the Loam. Yeah, these cards don't matter. Shuffle. Burrow's a good one. I'm going to attack for 1, leave up my double force. I can hardcast Endurance in the end step, and then also dress down in the end step, which lets me untap and play Uro in 6/6 mode. Or I can just double force them. Fetching in their upkeep. Okay. The full Trade Binder special of lands over there. Welcome to the Epic Storm in 2021. Oh, there's another one. This is getting screenshot for Twitter. This is great. So Orm's chanting. I feel like this is a test. Do I want to fall for it? Like, I feel like they're just thought seizing a force here. I'll take the bait. Or no, what they're trying to do here is draw a card with Veil of Summer. Like, if I counter the chant, they Veil, they draw a card. I don't know, I just have a read that they don't actually have anything. Am I crazy? Might be crazy. I can't beat Chant Veil anyway. Do I want to build Storm by getting my Endurance into play? I guess is another question. Oh, this is rough. This is actually a really tough situation they've put me in here. Orm's Chant is stupid. I'm going to cast Endurance. Call. Put those fetch lands back in your deck. Okay. Orange Chant resolves. Nox Opal. Alright, maybe they weren't bluffing. I hope I didn't give them the storm they needed with that endurance. They're paying a bunch of ad nauseum. Okay. Alright. Oh, okay. I see what they did. You didn't need to put Chromux on the stack, though. They're at 9 without a payoff yet. 6, they're at 4. Oh, I think I'm dead. Yeah, they pedal, Chromux, rit. Yeah. Alright, I'm dead. Okay. Yeah, they found the line with Orange Chant on the way through. That was pretty good. It was too much to dream to beat a Storm deck in game 1. Shark Typhoon just didn't provide the cover it needed to. Look at this, though. They revealed Veil of Summer to Chromux. That's what they exiled. And that did not come off ad nauseum. So I did make the correct play. They just had me beat. Yeah, Storm is Infinity. Go nuts. Maybe they'll misclick. It's my last hope. Here's the Burning Wish. They didn't float mana. Oh, yeah, they're grape shotting me. Sure. All right. I've been grape shat. Time for the sideboard. Okay, all of these Swords to Plowshares that I think I drew like 7 copies of Swords to Plowshares that game. These are out. Canonist. Meddling Mage. Collector Oof. Force of Vigor. Flusterstorm. Null Rod. Engineered Explosives is a maybe, but probably coming in. And I actually like Wasteland as well. So I have 9, maybe 10 cards coming in. 4 cards coming out so far. This is not a Loam matchup. This is not a Field of the Dead matchup either. I can replace the Field with Wasteland and have the same land count, but this deck plays a zillion lands. Like, I have 23 lands in the main, which is basically infinite for a Legacy deck. Dress Down doesn't really do anything in the matchup. I'm leaving in Prismatic Ending because it can get rid of Defense Grid, Carpet of Flowers, Wishclaw Talisman, all of those things. Make one more cut if I want the other Wasteland. But I think my spells are all better than Wasteland. And without the Loam, it's not really a plan. Like, taking them off one land's not going to matter much, but taking them off a land every turn could matter a lot. But no, that's just not the plan. Okay, here we go. This one has Flusterstorm, but not much else is going on. It could get me up to Burrow. I don't love this. I'm going to ship it. Okay, this one is a lot better, as long as they don't turn 1 me. I'm going to send basic Forest. No, I'm going to send basic Plains to the bottom. Yeah, I would rather have a Hate Bear than a Counterspell in my opening hand. Like, I shipped a 7 with Flusterstorm and kept a 6 with Canonist. That's absolutely where I want to be with my life. Ooh, that's a good one. I'll save the fetch land. I'm going to get Tundra with this one, and I can get Trop with the other. Here's Canonist. Activate hard mode. Canonist counts non-artifacts, though, and the Epic Storm is known for its abundance of artifacts. That is kind of the deck's whole thing. Canonist getting in there. Oh god. Do they have something like something that kills this? Oh, they have Abrupt Decay in their deck. Yeah, that's right. Of course. Sure. You can have that one. Deal. I'm going to get a Tropical Island and play Meddling Mage on Burning Wish. Okay, Burning Wish. Shut it down. I can exile a Wishclaw Talisman, so naming Burning Wish takes out their other tutor. Brainstorm, sure. Found a fetch land to go with their Brainstorm. They are showing Abrupt Decay again. Attack with my creature. Pass the turn. I can hardcast Force or hardcast Endurance. I could hardcast Endurance and pitchcast Force. Got things I can do here. They did not shuffle their Brainstorm. That's kind of terrifying. Just like, nah, these are good. Wrecking their Catacombs. White cards are so scary. Bringing back Orange Chant was a pretty smart innovation for the Epic Storm these days. Okay, they didn't get a white land. Can Verdant Catacombs even get a white land? I guess that's the real question. Do they have a Savannah in the deck? I guess I can check my screenshot from last round. Still no white mana around. Okay, they're passing priority. They're in the second main. Are we going to my turn or what? Black Talisman. Okay. Cool. And I'm going to Endurance in the end step. Hey, I'm going to target them. They don't really want the fetch lands. I'm sure Brainstorm and Abrupt Decay are fine. Time to smash. I think I just exile the Wishclaw. Do I even need to cast this Brainstorm? If Brainstorm finds like Null Rod or Collector Oof, then I can save my ending. Alright, I am gonna Brainstorm. Alright, not what I'm looking for. Put back... I think I can put back the second ending and Brainstorm. Pitching Uro to this force seems fine to me. Get rid of that. I can Brainstorm for the second ending if they have a second Wishclaw next turn. They're running out of time. One more crack and Ad Nauseam is basically off the table. And if I untap with Force plus Fluster, I'm going to be feeling pretty good. Lotus Petal. Okay. It's usually a sign they want to make a move. Wishclaw. Okay. Maybe they'll pass. Give me another crack at it. Nice. Okay. Oh, they're chanting. Orm's Chant. So target player can't cast spells this turn. That's kind of clever. So I can't hit the Wishclaw. Alright, sure. I'll just have to use my Force plus Flusterstorm to survive the turn. Glad they didn't have a second white to stop my combat phase. Interesting. It was their only white mana and they used it to do that. And Wishclaw can pull up a Veil of Summer at will. They're not dead on board. They're at 1 on board. They have a little bit of life to work with here. If they go for it and miss, I'll use Wishclaw Talisman on my turn to wish for Collector Oof and put that into play. So if they go for it and miss this turn, I think they'll be dead in 2 turns anyway. And maybe I don't need to show them Collector Oof. Rate of Flames on the stack. Alright, let's go. Looks like we're doing the thing. Flusterstorm really is the perfect card for me to have here because I'll force the payoff and then they'll wish for Veil and then I'll fluster both. So they do have a lot of mana right now. Maybe that's not the play. And if they are wishing for something other than Veil of Summer, unless they already have a Veil of Summer, I guess we just have to hope they don't have 2. Oh, they conceded. I wonder if they just went for Ad Nauseam as a default and then realized that they can't go off at 6 life. Or they got Burning Wish thinking they had a line but forgot about Meddling Mage. Not sure what just happened there. Oh shit, what just happened? Did I just concede the game? Is that possible? Alright. Yeah, instead of... that was weird. Well, I was busy talking and conceded the game that was already over instead of just clicking OK into sideboarding. I hope Moto didn't register that. Yeah, my sideboard plan doesn't change. Oh, they said they needed 2 blue there. Okay, the naming Burning Wish with Meddling Mage and controlling Claws with Prismatic ending was pretty cool. I actually like that play pattern a lot. Do I want the other Wasteland? On the draw, it seems like so reckless. Is it better than Jace, though? Is Jace going to come up in a game of Magic other than being a blue card to pitch to force? But is that enough to keep it in the deck for? I mean, their mana is really greedy, especially if I'm null rotting and oofing them. No, not on the draw. I'm not going to do it. Okay. Let's just re-enter with the same deck. This hand I don't think is keepable. Engineered Explosives doesn't even do anything till turn 2. Wasteland Prismatic ending. Oh, that's not the interaction I'm looking for. Opponent's also on 6. Come on, deck. I have so many hateful cards. Don't mull to oblivion. Okay, I'll keep this one and send Uro and Endurance. I just want my cantrips. Flusterstorm is basically the best card I could have on the draw, assuming I get a turn. Okay. Brute Force Negation played Trop. Can't ponder here because I need my Flusterstorm. Oh yeah, please, pass the turn. Cool. I can ponder or I can brainstorm. What do I want to do here? I think I want to ponder. Blooded Strand, Shark Typhoon, lanes. I don't really want these lands. I don't actually want any of this stuff. I'll shuffle it. I'm just looking for some of my bears. My lock pieces are what's going to win me this game. They can beat any number of counterspells with their chants and veils. Seem to be taking it slow, which I'm grateful for. Okay, I am going to ponder again. There's nothing in my hand I really want to get rid of, which is when you would want to brainstorm. I'll keep the ponder. fetch, and then ponder again. Because ponder sees more cards than brainstorm does. Like when you're looking for something specific, which I am. Ponder again. Brainstorm Uro. This is not what I'm looking for. Force of Vigor with no green card. Okay. That's not what I'm looking for either. I still have Fluster plus Force of Negation up, though. I haven't given that up. I have another Brainstorm to find more stuff next turn. I gotta assume their hand is full of Abrupt Decays at this point, though. Like, what are they even doing over there if Abrupt Decay is not in the mix? Okay. Show me the Abrupt Decay. I don't play Veil of Summer, so let's just start working through these things. I don't want to Brainstorm first because that is still my blue card for Force. And I didn't get Decayed in the end step. It's good news. What is in their hand right now? So confused. I think this is a good time to Brainstorm. If I can find a second bear and just overload their Abrupt Decays, that's a big deal. I found my third land. Engineered Explosives is off because of Null Rod. And I'm going to float the Force of Will on top. No, I'm going to float Prismatic Ending on top. What am I saying? I need my blue card to pitch and be able to cast Flusterstorm. I have 4 free spells in my hand right now. I can only cast 2 of them, but I do have 4. Looks like an Abrupt Decay to me. Okay. They've chosen. It's time. Put him in a great spot to have Veil of Summer, but that's not a card I put in my deck today. I'm going to shuffle up and jam this Endurance. Drop and Savannah. I need to get double green. And I already have triple blue for Hardcast Forest, cast Flusterstorm. Go ahead, have your Abrupt Decay back. Okay, back. It might just time out. They just crossed the 5-minute mark. I still have 12 minutes on my clock. They've been extremely deliberate in their play for this whole match. I can hardcast Force of Negation, plus cast Flusterstorm, but then also still pitch to Force of Will. So I think they're going to lead on an Orim's Chant. Oh, what is all this? They have Bant mana. Do they have Prismatic Ending in their deck? If they Prismatic Ending my Endurance, I'm just not even mad. Prismatic Ending for 4 with 3 colors. Okay, they overpaid for that. Might be the first time they've ever cast that card. I'm going to let it resolve. It could have been a juicy Flusterstorm, but I still think that saving my Flusterstorm for their combo turn is going to pay out better. All right, getting my land into play. This lets me cast Force of Vigor and still Flusterstorm something. They have 100 lands in play again. Flusterstorm's getting worse. Uro. The time to make a move on Uro. I think it might be. What dual lands are left in my deck? I think I might have to get Basic Forest with this. Oh yeah, it's just Ketria Triumph. Yep, Basic Forest is get. And green. Blue. Here's Uro. I would really like to hit a land here. Oh, Meddling Mage is good though. White, blue, and Burning Wish. I could name Orim's Chant and just bet on my counter spells, but I like cutting them off this win con. Could get super meta and just name Abrupt Decay so they can't kill the Meddling Mage, but then they don't need to kill it because it's not naming anything that matters. Good, they're passing the turn again. Weird. I don't know what they're up to over there. I cannot even guess what's in their hand. In for 2. Now the question of draw a card with Uro, and I think I do want the Uro to happen. I want to fetch basic island first. Leave the most options available. Blue, green, blue, Uro. I can exile all these lands. I boarded out my Loams. I'm just pushing here. Push it real good. And I do want to ponder. Finding Brainstorm. Is Brainstorm helpful? Yes. Yeah, Brainstorm gives me double Force plus Flusterstorm. It's just a blue card. Plus, if I don't have to pitch it, it's just a good card. They're fetching on their upkeep. Looks like they're thinning that deck out. Now that they're under real pressure, they're like, let me draw some spells. What is their hand? Is it just like rituals but no payoff? Did I clip the Burning Wish and that was their plan? Did they just have like 2 Abrupt Decay, 2 Prismatic Ending, 3 rituals? If that's the case, I feel like they probably overboarded. I don't know. It's weird. It's looking weird over there. It's ad nauseum. right on the stack. It is. I think I want to force this and save my Flusterstorm, because they can Dark Ritual to pay for Fluster. So I'm going to force pitching Force of Will. Okay, they just conceded to that. Yeah, their hand must have been super reactive. That's weird. That was a weird match. Next round. We're about halfway through the video, so let me just remind you that if you like this deck and you want to try it out, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com, and you can play any deck anytime with cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. These links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the play in round number 3, with a hand I cannot keep because Caracas does not cast any of my spells. Okay, this one's better. My opponent's username is Storm Guy Is Me. So, do you think they're a Storm Guy? The odds seem pretty good. My hand is not great against Storm, if they are not lying with their username. But I am pretty set up in any sort of fair matchup. Maybe I should have looked at their username before I kept this Loam hand. Verdant Catacombs, Lotus Petal. Okay, they are a Storm Guy. It's confirmed. I could just exile this Lotus Petal. Like, thing. I'm doing it. Get out of here. Bring that trash around my house. Just gonna put a permanent into play. The deck has dead cards in it, usually. Zap. Okay, they're entombing me. Or they're entombing. Not entombing me, necessarily. Someone's getting entombed. Okay. Please don't have Veil of Summer in your main deck. Okay. I like countering the Entomb, because countering the Entomb is like countering all the reanimation spells in their hand as well. They only have 4 Entombs, and they have something like 8 or 10 reanimation spells. But, okay. We got paired against the Maniac, who has 2 Entombs in their opener. Okay, we're dead. This is where they play Animate Dead, that I could have hit with this Prismatic ending. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Should have kept that one lander with Caracas, it turns out. I could still draw Caracas. I could draw Swords to Plowshares. We'll just see what happens here, I guess. Okay. Do I dredge Loam trying to hit Caracas? Or do I draw a card trying to hit Plow or a Prismatic Ending or a Cantrip? I think taking a draw is better. Okay. You're saying there's a chance. Do not dredge Loam. Do not dredge Loam. Do not dredge Loam. Shit. Put these 2 back. Make my land drop. Pass the turn. Bristle's gonna Grizzle. They have Sarah's Emissary in the graveyard now. I can turn that off with Dress Down, but I don't have enough life points to make it that far. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it turns out that if I just let Entomb resolve, or if I just don't target the Lotus Petal, I probably win this game, or I'm at least in this game. Oh, that's not true. They would have unmasked the Prismatic Ending, so that just doesn't matter. Okay. Do they have a Storm Kill as well? Or are they just putting several more monsters into play? Chancellor, Doom. Okay. I've seen enough. Okay. Flusterstorm's in. Meddling Mage. Force of Vigor's a maybe. It can kill Animate Dead. Demon Priest is a defo. Feathersworn Canonist lets me make sure that my counter spells work and that I can't get like popped off twice in the same turn. I think Terminus is worse than Swords to Plowshares. Prismatic Ending does not really play here. The Endurances are great. And I have a lot of stuff to do for this matchup. It's just finding it on time. I don't think Torpor Orb matters. I don't think Oof or Null Rod matter that much. They do play Artifact Mana in their deck, but they can also win without it. Caracas is very good. You don't need Field of the Dead for this matchup. And I got one more cut to make. It's probably the Loam. I can leave one in there in case I end up in a late game where I'm wasting them, but I don't really need it as a plan. Aggro digging for the Caracas with it doesn't seem like the best thing to do. Okay, this looks like a reasonable plan. Oh, I was talking about bringing in Force of Vigor. Forgot to do that. Hopefully I won't need it. Press down Endurance. Endurance that I can't cast. This is not a keeper. There we go. keep this one and send, I think it's Dress Down to the bottom. I'm gonna ponder. Finding another green card would be nice. Ugh. Okay, didn't get there on that one. I can shuffle and try to find white mana or a green card, or I can just keep and have this brainstorm lined up. All right, I'm gonna keep. They turn one me with protection. I lose. Is what it is. Forgaven. My goodness. I believe the top card of my deck is a land. I can certainly make it a land if it's not. I'll brainstorm now. Make sure this Ragman isn't doing anything I care about. Okay, I put back Flooded Strand and Forest. They can have my Forest. Then I draw Flooded Strand. And that can get Savannah. And then I'm set up for a while. Dark Ritual. They're going to hardcast a Grief. Ugh. Okay, maybe I'm just dead. But there's a good chance I lose here just because none of the cards I saw off my Ponder and Brainstorm are green. Took one Endurance. If they cast Exhume, I get an Endurance. Like, that's not nothing. It's also not super important. Grist to the Hunger Tide. Fun. Okay. Their deck's pretty cool. Gonna Ragavan, take my Forest. Thought sees me again. Jesus. Relentless. Took my Meddling Mage. Cool. Left me with the other Endurance. Guess I'll take that. I think that if they had a combo kill monster situation to present me with, they would have done it last turn. Reanimating my Meddling Mage. If they do that, they can name Endurance. I could play Endurance in response, but then they just kill it with Grist. Okay, you can have that, I guess. Your deck is really cool. I'm way more happy to lose to this than to regular, just black-red cheesy Reanimator. It's time for Shark Typhoon. I trade with Ragavan. Take a 1/1, draw a card, block, put Ragavan in the graveyard, build Exhume, cast Faithless Looting. I'm a mana short. I guess I was about to say I'm a mana short of dressing down to turn off Meddling Mage, but then Endurance is off too, and it just doesn't matter. They discarded nothing good. Green, blue, white. Here's Uro. Nice. Where's the Plowshares is a good one. Endurance. Each opponent loses life equal to the number of creatures in your graveyard. Okay. It's currently like 1. Ooh. I'm going to take 2 from Meddling Mage to make sure that I can answer Grizzlebrand. Now I'll plow Meddling Mage. Hope to draw a green source, I guess. Basic Plains is the danger zone. Cool. Alright. I probably want to Endurance now to get ahead of the Faithless Lootings. Yeah, I'll fetch for another Trop. I have enough white, I don't need Savannah. So they're entombing fearlessly. They literally know I have this card in my hand, right? And I can cast it? Okay. Okay, put all those away. Guess I could have... No, I was trying to get the Faithless Lootings. I was about to say I could have waited to ambush one of these insects in combat, but I was really trying to get rid of the Faithless Lootings before they did anything with them. I'm not going to dress down in the end step to cycle because I do want to cast Uro and I want to get its trigger. Ooh. Does that change anything? I don't think so. Blue, blue, green, green. Exile land, plow, land, Shark Typhoon, and Brainstorm. Oh, I missed the plow. I clicked Ponder instead. Nice. Okay. Uro's in play. They can kill it with Grist, but we're working down through the Grist. Gotta hope they didn't draw Entomb Reanimate on this one turn right now. Okay, killing Uro, that's fine. Getting to work here. This has been a great game. Even if I lose it, this has been a lot of fun. Okay, that's cool. Wish I could dress down in response. But see you later, Uro. I'm getting insected. I guess I brainstorm here. Or do I play... What am I looking for? The Force of Will to not die is pretty nice. Maybe I play Meddling Mage on Tomb. I'm going to Meddling Mage on Entomb. And I think I just want to pass. They're creating an insect with Grist. Makes sense. They can attack with Endurance. they want to. That lets me attack Grist pretty fearlessly. I think... Do I dress down now or in the end step? If I do it now, then my Meddling Mage is back on. I think I want to do it in the end step, though I'm not convinced it matters that much. This is a magic card. Can I have a green card to go with it? I can. Oh, wow, that's even better than I thought. They still have Grist in play. I'll attack it. I might get the double block here. Okay, deal. Doesn't have any abilities anyway. That's gone. And I'm gonna Jace and bounce my Endurance. Boing. Nice. Okay, cool. If they can get a creature into play, Grist can kill it. Kill Jace. But I'm looking pretty likely to get an activation here. And now that I've seen their deck, I'm feeling really stupid for boarding out all my Prismatic endings. Grief. Casting Grief. I think I brainstorm in response. Oh, casting Grief lets them kill Jace. No, I force this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they would have gotten a card out of my hand and killed Jace, which is all worse than just forcing. Brackus is cool. How do I want to do this? I can burrow, put back land, Brackus. Or no, other way. Flooded Strand, Caracas. And then front end of Uro puts this land into play. I can also play Caracas. Then I get to shuffle and I'm still holding up Endurance. This Grist has been really excellent. Okay. They're going to sack their Insect to kill Jace. Makes sense. Probably the right call. And then Endurance finally gets to challenge this Grist. Take it out in combat. Okay, they conceded to the Endurance, clearing the Grist. Wow, that was a crazy game. That was a lot of fun. Okay, I'm going to split my Plows and my Endings now that I know they have a Planeswalker I want to answer. But the Plows are still good because they have Ragavan and shit like that too. This is cool. Big fan of everything that's going on right now. Okay, that's all I'm doing. I'm boarding like this. Still have one Loam, still have one Wasteland, and all of the fair stuff. Between you and me, I don't think trying to get more fair against the Bant deck after board is the way that they win this game. I mulliganed already, and this hand isn't much better. It's actually pretty bad. I'm gonna go to 5. I can keep this one. Then Jace and dress down to the Shadow Realm. Maybe they'll try to play slow again, or maybe I'm just dead immediately. Let's find out together. Yikes. Sedgemoor Witch, okay. Time for a Source of Plowshares. Okay. Guess I'm just going to pass the turn here. And my deck can certainly outmuscle a Sedgemoor Witch, given enough time. It's just, am I going to have that time? Passing the turn, I'm okay with that. Oh. Is this the game we're playing? You can have your 3-2. I want to put you to 0 permanence for now. And then just have faith in my deck that I won't lose to a 3-2. Got there. Then I'm gonna brainstorm into Swords to Plowshares, or maybe I should just Swords to Plowshares with Flusterback out. Yeah, I shouldn't have fetched that. That was bad. No, I am gonna just grab the Savannah now and plow, leaving up Flusterstorm. I would like to pay 3 life, yes. Okay, your thing's gone. Alright, one of Wasteland, cheese mode. Let's do it. They had no play again. I could brainstorm, try to hit my land drop, or just hold up Containment Priest. I think I want a Priest. We're both missing land drops with a bunch of cards in hand. My opponent actually can get value off of discarding to hand size, though, where I cannot. I think it's time to brainstorm. Okay, yeah, that was a good brainstorm. I'm gonna put back Meddling Mage and Brainstorm, or Brainstorm Meddling Mage. What order do these go in? I think it's Brainstorm Meddling Mage. So I'm drawing the Meddling Mage next turn. Holding up all my counters now. Maybe I should have just jammed the Meddling Mage this turn to double my clock. Yeah, I think that would have been better. Just, I fell into the don't tap out mistake hole. I think I want to dress down right now. No, this is just a blue card. Alright, it's fine. Started their angel thing. And I'm gonna name reanimate. They're gonna need mana to do anything else, which they don't currently have. Looting. I'm not gonna fight over looting. Started reanimate and Archon of Cruelty, sure. Throwing the brainstorm now. I'm not gonna cast it because I'm not really looking for anything. Dark Ritual. Is that okay? Yes, go ahead. Another one. Am I getting stormed out? Thoughtseize. What does that do? Right, let's Flusterstorm that Thoughtseize. They can pay for it, but that's their whole turn. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to Brainstorm then Thoughtseize, then they can't pay for it. Whoops. Okay, they didn't pay for it anyway. Hardcast Grist. Or Grief. Grist. I meant Grief. Dress Down turns off my other things, but I have double force in hand, so I'm not super worried about that. Ace the Mind Sculptor. You're pretty good. Ace. I'm gonna let them have their grief back and just keep beating down. They want to pitch 2 cards to Thoughtseize me again. Alright. I still have Force blue card in my hand, even if they take one of them. Drag. And evoke grief, sure. Pitching Grizzlebrand. Have a look. They'll probably take Brainstorm. Yep. Grief's in the graveyard. I can plus Jace so it doesn't die. I can minus Jace, bounce Ragavan, keep beating down. I think I want to Brainstorm with Jace. Keep my hand good. Put back. I think it's Force of Negation and Dress Down. I need the green because that bombs their graveyard. It blocks Ragavan. I put back Dress Down and would I rather have Flusterstorm up or a Force? I could put back Force of Negation and Flusterstorm, and then I have Force Dress Down. Okay, put back Force of Negation and Flusterstorm. Play my second green source. I'm gonna attack with Meddling Mage. Am I? No. Because Reanimate being Mage doesn't matter. If Priest is in play, they can't cast Reanimate anyway. I'm kind of hoping they feel that they need to pressure Jace with Rag. And then I get to Endure. Alright, packed it up to Endurance. 3-0 with Field of the Dead Bant. I'm on the draw in round number 4. I have Uro and Prismatic Ending. I think I've decided in the dark that this is a keepable hand with this deck. Hell yeah, Prismatic Ending. Let's do it. About as good as a Prismatic Ending's gonna get. I'm gonna use my basic, because I can play on basics and ignore the potential for Wasteland over here. If they are green-white depths, that is part of their plan. Maverick does that too, so we can play around Wasteland, so I will. And I have my own fun of Wasteland here that can break up a Dark Depths later on. Another one. So powerful. Okay, I'm pretty set up against Merit Lage at this point. Another Windswept Teeth and crack it from them. Another one. Knight of the Reliquary. Don't have a good answer to that lined up. Could cycle Shark Typhoon now to just try to find some action. And I think that's a reasonable thing to do. Because finding a Swords to Plowshares right now versus even one turn later is huge. Cycle for 0, Shark dies, Force Will. Maybe I should have cycled in response to the Knight. I definitely would have forced there if I had been thinking with my brain, which I clearly was not doing. Okay, I think it's Uro time. Park this Wasteland in play and make sure I don't get Merit Laged. And I'm just going to sit it in play. I'm not going to waste them aggressively. That makes their Elf and their Knight both bigger. We are hitting the backside of fetching basics, which is that I can't cast any of the double blue cards in my hand. Really wish I had cycled the Shark in response to Knight, though. Force pitching Jace, remove Knight, only facing down Elvish Reclaimer. I would have felt a lot better about that situation than I do about this one. Missed opportunities. Remnant Excavator. Is this a card that I need to answer? Probably. That's the sort of card advantage, because Remnant Excavator basically is put any land from your deck into play from your graveyard in combination with Knight. I would prefer not to have to play against that. Also makes the Wasteland strat pretty embarrassing. Activating their Knight. We're getting bogged. Yep. Okay, Uro's gone. That's fine. Prepared for that. At least that's not Merit Lage. Make a 3/3 shark next turn. I draw the blue source. Okay. I'm gonna brainstorm. Alright, Endurance is uncastable. Shit. Jace on top, Caracas on top. I could ponder, shuffle this all up. Try again next turn. Jace Caracas. Or is Typhoon work? No, because they can fetch Wasteland if they want to. So I'm gonna put back these two. Play this. Wasting them just got a little more interesting, but let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm pretty far from dead. And they'll have only one planes left to operate with, and the Krakus is still on top of my deck. I am just gonna aggro waste here. I would accept any arguments that that's a bad play, but it's the one that I made. Like, if they want to Knight of the Reliquary for Wasteland, I want that to run. I want that to cost them their land. For real, for real. I block Knight with my 1/1. And then hopefully ponder into a green source to absolutely blow them out with Endurance next turn. That's my plan for this game. They could Swords of Plowshare this, but it's not a good use of Swords of Plowshares. They probably want to save that for the Endurance that I just mentioned. They play Caracas for their turn, so I don't need to worry about Wasteland. I could use Jace to bounce this, but I think pondering for a green source is a better play. Got there. Oh, I got there in a couple different ways. This is interesting. I'm going to stack it like this. The Prismatic Ending is coming off the top. And I can ambush the Knight. If they do have the Swords to Plowshares to keep it alive, I can remove it next turn. I could also Jace, bounce Knight, Prismatic Ending, remove Reclaimer next turn. I have pretty good lines to a stable board. Here come the jerks. Nope. The jerks changed their mind. Just the little jerk. Endurance is so messed up. Alright, here it is. What I promised, I will deliver. Endurance, splat your graveyard, block your 1/2. It's weird that they have the Swords to Plowshares. I would think they wouldn't make that attack. Or they would attack with Knight as well, if they had the plow. Oh, what are they scared of there? I don't know. It's basically the same line I was talking about last turn, but now I get to make it. Like, I'm still gonna Jace, bounce Knight, Prismatic, and the other thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I guess they could get the Jerry Step. It's fine. That's not a very good land in general. They'll have no green sources left if they get the Jury Step, and they'll have no plains or forest to sack to Knight. Okay, crop rotation makes some sense. Jury Step, you got it. Deck usually does play 2 of them. Throw blue. Attic Ending, this. Still gonna put them to that same test. Like, if you want to rotate away your last green source, keep this around. We can play that game. Going for it. There's the other step. Okay. They're on mono white over there. Gotta deal with 2 green creatures. They do get to clear Jace. Put me to 15. I'm in top deck mode. They have Caracas, which answers my Uro if I find one. Endurance off the top stabilizes the game. They are ahead right now, but tenuously. My deck has cantrips in it, and theirs doesn't. Alright, Reclaimer can sack whatever it wants. It doesn't need a forest or plains. Alright, that makes sense. They can turn Jury Step back into a real land. Play from the Loam. I did know I was drawing that, so here it is. I don't think they have 2 Bajuka Bogs in their deck, and one of them's already in the graveyard. This will hopefully mess up their Knight or their Reclaimer plan, but they are bashing for 8 next turn, 9 if I waste them. This is becoming a pretty tough spot. And wasting flagstones is not advisable. If I don't waste now, I don't get to. So I'll just hit the Caracas right now and give myself a chance to find Uro. What I really need is a removal spell. The double Jury Step was good. I didn't think about it till it was too late. They're gonna rotate their flagstones in 2 lands right away. There's Savannah off the flagstones ability and Yavimaya. Alright, that turned my endurance on like a fox. Endurance is definitely the best draw in my deck right now, and it's not even close. So I would not complain about a Swords to Plowshares. Not dredging Loam, that's not helpful. Field of the Dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Several turns ago, I did not play this Caracas because I was playing around Wasteland, but now I'm drawing Field on a turn where I could have made a zombie. So maybe I should have just made that land drop. I'm dead though. Double Sajiri Step, really good. Did not consider that till it was too late. Not sure if there was a way around it, but I definitely wasn't. It wasn't on my radar. Terminus coming in, the other Wasteland coming in. I think I like Engineered Explosives. Force of Vigor is coming in. This is a Sylvan Library and Choke deck. Flusterstorm can get Swords to Plowshares and Crop Rotation. And they're also a Green Sun Zenith deck. So Containment Priest is good. And I don't love Force of Negation. I think I can shave on Of Will also. Dress Down is okay, but also medium. Burrow's good, but they have Caracas, Plow, and Bajuka Bog, and they probably have Surgical Extraction in their board too, so I don't want to be super loaded up on that. I like all of my white removal. I like Jace. Jace is probably the best win condition that I have. Maybe one more force can get shaved. And boarding up to 24 lands seems like a lot. Is there a land that I can cut here? Maybe I just don't want Ketria Triumph in the deck. Though if we get into a grindy situation, it's pretty good. Really bad against Wasteland and trying to curve out though. Maybe I don't need 3 basic islands. So cutting a colored source seems like heresy. An untapped, unwastable colored source. It does get choked, but that's comes with the territory. Loam is just really important here. Maybe I just won't bring in the Wasteland. Or maybe one less Flusterstorm. No, I like Flusterstorm against the Zenith. Okay, yeah, just one less Wasteland is happening. I think I'm going to keep this hand. It needs lands, but I'm playing a lot of them. And I have Ponder and Brainstorm to find them. Okay, the Ponder missed on lands. We're going to shuffle that one up. No need to panic. LOL. Terminus triggering off Ponder. That can only happen on turn 1. That's great. Well, having Terminus lined up and the Brainstorm is fine. We just need this to not fail. Okay, 22 lands in the deck. Let's find some of them. Perfect. I'm going to put Shark or Jace back in the deck with, or no, I'm going to shove Terminus back in the deck forever and get Jace in there with it because I have this Swords to Plowshares lined up for their first thing. I can dress down another thing. Just having the Terminuses in the deck for the later turns where we're out of 1-for-1 answers, I think makes a lot of sense. I just fetch Ketria Triumph here. The time. Yeah. I'm gonna get Ketria Triumph. And this gives me a white source. Holding Brainstorm. I can Shark Typhoon if they don't do anything. Setting up, taking my time here. I have double green if I find an Endurance. Ketria Triumph's kind of funny because it seems like a juicy Wasteland target, but it's generally better off in my graveyard than in my deck. I'm going to get Savannah because that one doesn't get choked. I'm going to make a 1/1 Shark. Both their Sajiri Steps were in their opening hand this time. The opposite of last game where they were great elsewhere. In with my Shark. I have Force of Vigor for choke now, so that's nice. I don't even have to 2-for-1 myself to force it. Collector, oof. Okay, that's literally just like a creature that exists. Did I show them a single artifact in game 1? Don't think so. Weird one. But you got it. Just gonna make my land drops, and do I attack? Yeah, I'll attack. I think they have to respect Endurance, and if they don't, then okay. I'll take 2. Just jamming in with the Shark is like, go ahead, have it. I really don't have an artifact in my main deck, and didn't board in any either. Right to the Reliquary. I can Force of Will that, and then, or I could wait and plow it. I'm gonna save my force and use my cleaner, smaller answers on these creatures. Yep, respecting Endurance. Probably the right call. I know you don't have Sajiri Step this time. Oh, now I had the Endurance. They're going to look smart for waiting. Avamaya, cool. Now I can cast Endurance without tapping any islands. I think I want to put the gas on here, so I will cast this guy. Get him into play. And I will put my deck back into my deck. I like most of these cards. The only bad ones are the 2 fetch lands. But if this gets grindy, I don't mind just having all those cards still in my deck. In for 4 now. We have a real clock. They're dead in 5 turns instead of 19 turns. I have Prismatic Ending for Choke or Sylvan Library or whatever. Crop rotation they've been telegraphing for a little while. Right there on a Field of the Dead strat as well. I guess I should have known that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're 1 away from Field of the Dead. My Wasteland is somewhere. Do I care about this card? I do not. I'm ready to push with a Field of the Dead too. See how this looks around next turn. They got there first. Yeah, the Wasteland should definitely be in. I forgot during sideboarding that they go deep on Field of the Dead. I think they have like 1 in the main and then 1 or 2 more in the board for matchups like this one. Still respecting Endurance. Someone's been hurt in the past. Wow, no land drop to go with their field. Take that. That's a gift. Now let's find my Wasteland or my field before it's too late. I don't want these fetch lands. I might want Caracas. Practice fetch. What am I missing? And more importantly, what has a different name? I'm gonna get Tundra. Another Brainstorm is a welcome find. Burrow, hell yeah. Okay. I think Flusterstorm is past when it's gonna do anything this game. Put back Fluster and Ponder. Play Caracas. Blue, colorless, green. Or I can use green over here. And because Caracas is the same thing as Savannah with Yavimaya in play, except that Caracas also bounces legends. Getting the trigger is more important to me than keeping Uro in play, so there was no reason to dress down to try to sneak that ahead. And I'm going to Ponder, Cluster, Ending, Terminus. I don't think those are what I want. Okay, cool. We got plays to make. It's weird they didn't ambush my Shark last turn. They end-stepped in my Endurance. Or they Enduranced in my end-step, right? But my Shark is still in play, inexplicably. If they have another Endurance to try to clear my Uro, Dress Down will show up for that one. If they attack, I'll double block. No attacks, no problems. And Uro needs 1 more card to pop. Brainstorm can be that card. I don't think I'm casting Prismatic Ending this turn. And put this island back. Then green, green, blue, blue. Here's Uro. Trigger that. Islands in play. And I'm just passing the turn still. Can't figure out when it's in their hand. They haven't cast a spell or made a land drop in like 3 turn cycles. Lands and spells are the only things that there are. What's going on over there? Are they just trying to get me with a choke? Are they maneuvering this game somewhere? They appear to have conceded, with 5 cards in their hand and 6 mana available. I don't know what just happened. Okay, that Collector Roof was embarrassing, the one that they played. It's like, what is that even doing here? Speaking of embarrassing, I do need to find room for the second Wasteland. That Field of the Dead is good in my deck and good against my deck, so get out of here. And all the removal's still good. Flusterstorm might be bad. Just having the white removal. Flusterstorm doesn't hit Choke or Sylvan Library. It's basically only for Swords of Plowshares and Crop Rotation, which are important cards, but at the same time, whatever. That's the change I'm going to make. I'm keeping this hand. It has a counter spell, a removal spell, and a bunch of lands, including my own field. No play. I like that. That means I can play my field. Just get ahead on that? Or does that mean that I need to respect their curve the whole way up? I'm going to play my field. Let's go. I might not be able to exile a Sylvan Library because of this with Prismatic Ending. We'll see if that ends up punishing me or not. Yep, that is exactly what's happening. Do I force this? Do I let them have it? I think I have to force this. Mana value is less than the colors. Yeah, I did mess this up. Do I want to force? Do I want to let them have it? I don't think I can let them have it. First pitching Jace. Could Wasteland this white source. Try to cheese them. Or I could play my land and develop my board like a normal person. I'm gonna go for the waste. Let's play a weird game. I'll sign up for that. Alright. They have a Wasteland also. I hope they waste me, honestly. Zenith is fine, though. I just didn't want a 2-drop to happen. I can ending an elf. Even fetch the basic planes to do it. As much as I don't really want to. They have this Wasteland just sitting right there, and I have to respect it. Basic planes, get rid of you. Still don't have an island in play. If they jam choke right now, that's a little concerning. I can just hit 2 land drops and ending it. Depths. Speaking of concerning. Okay, they have another one of these. Another elf. Oh, it's Safekeeper. Even better. Let's see if they want to lose a land to protect this thing. Blast. If they waste my Triome, then they don't get to make Merit Lage. And I wasn't doing anything with this blue mana anyway, so I think sneaking Triome in here makes a lot of sense right there. Crop rotation makes Dark Depths this turn. Okay, they just cast an Endurance, put all my cards back in my deck. That makes some sense. That turns off Loam, getting back Wasteland as a line here. Now I have my own Endurance. I can block a Merit Lage twice, and one of my blocks is also a cantrip. Yeah, I also don't think that they have the combo yet. It's going to take 3. There's no reason to respond here. What I really don't want them to do this turn is choke. Okay, they have the Thespian stage, so there's the combo. They can even waste me and still combo. I'm going to make a 2/2 Shark, which comes with the cantrip. And then I have a blue blocker and a green blocker for Merit Lage, so a single Sajiri Step doesn't push the game. Bluster Storm's not great. It is a blue card to go with my force. So I am treading water. Oh, they didn't do it. Okay, cool. They are holding on to their horses. Collector, oof. Still don't have any artifacts in my deck. Hate to break it to you. Still have a bunch of 3/4s and 6/6s in my deck. That's also true. I can flash in my Endurance now. Just while I have mana around. I think that's okay. Put their Sylvan Library and their Karakas back in their deck, I guess. That affects Knight of the Reliquaries and whatever in the future. Another one. They're fetching, which smells like Merit Lage. Oh, they're copying my field. That was really fucking smart. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well played. Fury Step. They're starting to get zombies. So they only have 1 card in their hand, and they don't have any of their crop rotation creatures. And by that, I mean the knight or the elf. So my pair of endurances could keep the zombie army in check for quite some time. Oh, they really piled up on this card. Inexplicably. I'm gonna get my other endurance in. Let's just make sure this board is stable. And they are top decking now. Oh yeah, this is where the blue deck does its thing. Play from the Loam, Ponder, Plow. Loam is eventually good. Do I need to plow anything? I don't think so. So, alright, I'm gonna put Plow in my hand and just be patient. I can draw the Ponder, see 2 fresh cards rather than just high velocity Ponder now. This game's gonna go more than 2 or 3 more turns, so I should get the most out of that Ponder. Still don't have any attacks, which means I'm winning. They also have 6 minutes on their clock to my 11, which also means I'm winning. Ponder again. Snow-covered island, cool. Not going to shuffle. If I can trick them into wasting my Field of the Dead before I draw this Loam, that's going to be really good for me. Another Endurance, okay. Grace is on. They probably should have waste my Field of the Dead before they played that, because now my Loam is live still. Played Dryad Arbor. Zombie army is getting kind of thick. I'm going to fire off one of my plows this turn, because I'm drawing another one and only have 1 white source. I'll just clear an Endurance. That's the biggest creature in play. Nice, they fell for it. Okay. Fired off their Wasteland. Now my Loam has a target. I'm not drawing a Loam this turn. That's not until next turn that happens. But it does have a target right away. And with them Hellbent, me with Plow and Force in hand, seems unlikely I can lose suddenly. Another Wasteland, that's cool. I hope they hit my Ketria Triome. Really set me up on this Loam. Still don't have attacks because Collector Roof is a 2/2. And now we're in business. Play from the Loam, break it open. I'm going to Dredge Loam to start hitting land drops this turn. Into the Reliquary, that's getting plowed. I can't have them Bajuka bogging me. Or Sajiri stepping at will. Clear that out. So they are at the point where they can probably make Merit Lage and start getting pretty aggressive with it. Found a Wasteland, hell yeah. See if they notice before it's too late. Nope, didn't notice. Okay. I have a trigger on the stack. And now Wasteland's in play, so they can't Merit Lage me. They're in top deck mode with 3.5 minutes on their clock. I am ahead on board with 9 minutes on my clock. I could lose this game. I mean, they have had Field of the Dead active for quite some time. They could start making some aggressive chump attacks, but my zombie army will start to grow next turn. Then I'll have more zombies than them on the following turn. Plus I have Wasteland happening at this point. But yeah, they're just shoving. Block, thinking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That puts me to 6. I don't really want to... Oh, I have Wasteland in play. I can make a trade with Shark because they're not going to be able to get Merit Lage into play, so I don't need to worry about different color blockers. Okay, these are my blocks. I have a Swords to Plowshares. Does that matter? I don't think so. Okay. Deal. Dredge Loam. Loam my field. Get field back. Make a zombie. Looks like Green Sun Zenith. They have 3 mana, so I can't fluster it. This looks like a good time to pop my Force. Just keep that out of the mix. Right, they're still just spew attacking. Block. Take 5. I'll have a bunch of zombies next turn. I'm not going to Dredge Loam this time. I already have lands to play. I can fetch. I believe there's still a basic forest in my deck. And at this point, I don't need to win this game. I just need to not lose it. That one could make me lose. We'll see. I'm just going to play very patiently. Not going to Dredge Loam. Okay, cool. Another zombie. This can kill this before they get to do anything. 1, 3, 4. I'm still holding up Wasteland. Really all that matters. Plowing my endurance. Okay, I gain a bunch of life for that. And it doesn't actually change their clock. I think there's still a basic force in the deck. Oh yeah, there's a ton of fetchables still in here. I even want basic force. I got a bunch of blue. Only 2 green. Only 1 white. Alright, so I do want the Savannah. And then I just trade with their entire board. Not even trade, I just like eat their board. And they packed it up 4-0 with Field of the Dead Bant onto the final round. I'm on the play in the trophy round. I'm going to keep this hand. This is the type of hand that we have determined I keep in this deck, which is any piece of interaction and Uro. And I actually have spell interaction and permanent interaction, so this is just a rock solid hand. I'd kind of prefer if this dress down was Ponder or Brainstorm, but obviously beggars can't be choosers. I'm going to keep my hand that is completely playable. I don't think I want to lead on field. That's kind of something I want to drop into playoff Uro later in the game. I guess we'll see what they're playing against for what I'm playing against first, and then I can make decisions. If they're Delver, I'm gonna wish I played the field, but I don't know. If they're like any sort of combo deck, if they're like Doomsday, I'm gonna be glad I played around Days. I don't know. That's one I'm gonna think about for a while. Okay, don't care. All right, now I wish I led on field. Ooh. That's good. I'm gonna play this land and just hold up Dress Down. If they have Thought Knot Seer, I just want to flip that buddy. That way when it leaves play, I still draw a card, but it doesn't take one on the way in. And I can like fetch plus Loam next turn. Just have my land set up. Field of the Dead is interesting because it gives you a reason to... Oh, Dress Down's going to be great in this matchup. So Prismatic Ending, exile target non-land permanent if its mana value is equal to or less than the number of colors spent. So if you could cast Prismatic Ending for 0, like you flip it off Mind's Desire or something, it can exile Chalice. But normally you have to pay 2 because Chalice on 1 is a thing. Okay, this is a little tricky. Do I want to force that, or do I want to try to push through it? I'm going to try to push through it. But if I led on Field of the Dead, I could have exiled Chalice on turn 2. Oh, we'll see where this goes. Okay, that was among the best possible draws, because now I can fetch twice and then loam both of those cards back. Tundra. I'm going to get Tundra Savannah, just fully commit to the spread here. Tundra Savannah, Light from the Loam. And I'm hoping we get a nice Dress Down blowout 2 turns from now on this Urza Saga. Bam, juiced up. Force a Negation's off for the turn. But I think if I was going to force a negation anything, it would have been the Chalice or the Sphere. And I've just decided to play through them instead. Thespian Stage. Okay, so they can skip making a construct token in order to make a stage copy of something. Is this the Uro turn? I could Uro, get 2 lands into play. I could also just hold up Dress Down this turn, clear out the construct, but I am only getting hit by 1 construct this turn, so yeah, I think this is the Uro turn. Oh right, that's Sphere of Resistance, not Thorn of Amethyst. So yeah, it's definitely the Uro turn. If Uro costs 4, not 3. It's the time. I'm gonna grab basic Island, not Snow Island here. So they make their 3/3. And then it's a little awkward because if I go for Uro now, then their Soul Guide Lantern, if they get that off Urza Saga, will be able to hit Loam and Uro up front. But I think if they get Soul Guide Lantern, then they're not doing something better. Like if they have to respond to what I'm doing, that's good. And I'm also jumping ahead on mana here in a way that is exciting. I could Dredge Loam now to mitigate that, but I actually just have enough lands to play the game with, so that's not the goal. And I'm going to keep hiding this Field of the Dead. I want to play it when it's too late for them to make a Wasteland plan around it. Like I'll probably play Windswept Heath next turn, and then Dress Down, and then Field of the Dead, get zombie, fetch, zombie, and then I'm just way in under everything they're doing. They could get Pithing Needle and turn off Misty Rainforest, but that's not even really devastating. And that leaves Uro in the graveyard. Right, they have Cage and not Soul Guide Lantern, so my Loam is still alive. Just Uro is. And I can ending the Cage if I really am upset about it. In for 5 they come. Not going to Dredge Loam. Have lands to play. Teeth is in play. And I can Dress Down this turn and protect it with Force Backup. This does appear to be a colorless deck, but there's always a chance it's not. Drawn for their turn. Raiders, okay. What are we doing with that? Please cast Walking Ballista. Stonecoil Serpent, even better. Enters the battlefield with X counters. This is going to kill their whole board. Bang. Those are dead. Don't Dredge Loam. That's dead. Oh, Dress Down, baby. That was filthy. And now we just turn the corner with Field of the Dead, make 3 zombies immediately. Here's a zombie. Then I can just fetch, make 2 zombies, and then also cycle Shark Typhoon and just have a giant attack force immediately. That might have been one of the best Dress Downs I've played. That's fine. We have Traders, Maze of Ith. Maze of Ith versus Field of the Dead. The classic matchup. Okay, so I'm going to get basic Forest and then Snow Island and make a bunch more zombies. Oh, it's thundering again. It's been a thundery summer around here. I hope I don't lose power in this trophy round. God, that would tilt me. Making some zombies and a shark in the end step here. Just have to make sure I'm getting different names. It doesn't matter if I'm getting basics at this point, other than that they have different names. Now that I have enough lands, it doesn't matter what I do with them. 4/4 shark. Wow, this Field of the Dead and Life from the Loam just obliterated this Fear of Resistance strategy. Still not dredging Loam. It's already done what it has to. Another fetch land, more zombies. Back with all my creatures. Phase the 4/4. I can play Uro, get another zombie right away. Colorless. Oh, right, it costs 5 now. Here's Uro. I can still force a negation, something if I have to. Still not dredging Loam. Take another zombie. Just gonna sit on this force of negation. They're dead next turn. Okay, they're going to 2. Copy their blast zone on 0. Oh shit, yeah, that was really smart. Okay. They currently can't activate their blast zone without tapping Ancient Tomb though. They had City. Clever, clever. They're still dead to this fetch land zombie. They get to attack. Yeah, they're just treading water. I'm not dredging Loam. Attack. They blow up their blast zone, which kills their chalice for me. Didn't even have to address that at any point in the game. Okay. My tokens are gone. There's another one. There's also Jace. I'm gonna Fate Seal them, make sure their next thing doesn't answer what I'm doing, and then they're dead too. My 2 zombies. Can't tap that Ancient Tomb. Okay, that was a clean victory against a good start. Field of the Dead showing up. Force of Vigor really good in this matchup. Dress Down was nutso busto, obviously. Engineer Explosives looks like it's going to be pretty good. Wasteland looks relevant. They weren't really activating artifacts, they were just putting artifacts into play. So I don't think I want the Null Rod or the Oof. Payment Priest I don't think matters. Flusterstorm doesn't matter. Terminus might be good, but also might just not do anything. What cards are not as good here? Force of Will and Negation do seem important. Towards the Plowshares, maybe not so much, because the Prismatic Ending's doing a lot of that work. And this might actually be a matchup where Endurance doesn't matter that much. So clocking the Ancient Tomb deck seems nice. Yeah, maybe I shave Uro or Jace. Maybe it's Jace. Okay. No, maybe I shave. No, going up to 24 lands actually seems fine. Okay, this is what I'm doing. Just maximum interactive spells and some threats to back them up is what I'm trying to do here. I'm on the draw, of course. I'm going to keep this hand that has Life from the Loam, a bunch of land drops, and an Engineered Explosives. Explosives going to be really good at clearing out their random shitters. Like clearing out Chalice of the Void and any number of Construct tokens is pretty cool. Leading on Wasteland, that's pretty funny. My deck does not care. They might be juicing up for a turn 2 Chalice, which I will ignore. There's a reasonable argument that I should have put Chalice into play on 0 now, so if they have Sphere instead, then I'm going to be glad I waited. You can cast Engineered Explosives on 2 for 2 mana through a Sphere by announcing it for 1 and then paying for the Sphere with a different color. Like, you still get the mana spent on Sunburst even if X is smaller than the total amount you paid. Uncoil Serpent. Alright. That dies to Engineered Explosives, same as everything else. I guess the question is, do I want to spend a plow on it now since I can? Or is this a wait till later thing? I think I want to wait. I just want to get as much juice out of every card that I play as possible here. Here's my Explosives for 0. That at least gets Stonecoil Serpent, if nothing else. I don't think I need to Brainstorm now. I don't know what I'm looking for yet. Like, I have land drops. I don't know if I'm going to need to activate Explosives this turn. Like, if they play a Sphere of Resistance this turn, I'll Brainstorm in response to determine if I need to force it, or if I can ignore it, or if I can remove it another way. City of Traders. Are you a Karn deck? Is that where this is going? You are a Karn deck. Okay. I think I want to Brainstorm in response to this and see where that goes. This is definitely a matchup where back to basics in the sideboard would be insane. Like, this is the type of matchup I mentioned all those hours ago in the deck tech, where there are matchups where back to basics will be even worse for them than it is for you. Okay, I'm going to put back a Plow and a Tundra. Light from the Loam's going to hit my land drops for me, and then I'm going to Force of Negation this, pitching Force of Will. I think I'd rather have Brainstorm available to me than another Force. So that is kind of close. I'm not going to remove this. I have an answer sitting in play to it. I'm just going to be patient, use my life total as a resource, and fetch Savannah, I guess. Yeah, Savannah looks like the one. Brainstorm some of these extra lands away. Endurance is dope. Didn't find a blue card for this forest, so I'm feeling a little naked right now. But it's okay. So Trop can definitely go. I'm going to get rid of swords too. Just don't think that is going to be a thing that matters. I'm going to get Tropical Island, cast my Loam, and hope I don't die right now, I guess. They're basically never activating this Wasteland now. They have City of Traders, which is going to die when they make their next land drop. I don't think they can afford to go down to functionally one land to waste me after I've already cast Life from the Loam on turn 4. I just don't think that's a line. Force of Will. God, I would feel so much better with a blue card. Okay, slam the Urza Saga. Do they even have something to spend the city mana on? They don't. It just went straight into the graveyard. That's amazing. Okay, looks like now I'm just going to chill for a minute on my engineered explosives, because it's going to be able to keep these Saga tokens in check. I can take a few more damage from Stonecoil Serpent. I might not even have to. I might just jam Endurance next turn and go on the offensive. Uro is a great draw here. Uro is always a great draw, but definitely in this spot. Oh, I could be dredging Loam to try to hit Uros. That's interesting. Huh. Yeah, I'll dredge Loam. And I hit Uro. Hell yeah. Just like we drew it up. I fetch Tundra with this one. And that gives me the spread and the mana I need. Green, green, blue, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think Flooded Strand is worse than Caracas as far as things I can recur, because I could like bounce my own Uro to protect it. Stuff that way. Oh, I exiled Loam. Oh no, it's in my hand. I dredged Loam. I was like, shit, where'd Loam go from my graveyard? I'm all over the place. Uro drew a blue card. Now we're feeling really safe here. Explosives is just waiting to clear the constructs, clear the Stonecoil Serpent. Stonecoil does have protection from Uro because it's multicolor. Oh, they had a Caracas. Pretty sneaky, sis. Fearlessly attacking. Got it. I'm gonna draw for turn. Another Uro. They're gonna bounce this before combat. As you do. It was in my hand now. Fine. Second main. I'm going to crack this for another source. Regrettably, I can't keep diversifying my land names right now. Loam, play Caracas, and then Uro, just for the life and the land. This sets up the engineered explosives for 2. I'm not going to dredge Loam here. Oh yeah, Force of Vigor. Get nasty. See if they even bother with a construct. They did bother with a construct. I'm gonna fetch. I can get a basic here. I'll get basic Island. And let's see what they want to do. Are they going to activate this again or just float mana with it? I imagine they'll float mana. Seems crazy to just spend all of your resources. Okay, they just passed priority. That's really smart. I'll blow this now. Just passing priority means that if I respond, they can make a construct on the way out. And if I don't respond, they just get Pithing Needle and I can't bomb them. So that was really clever. Good use of the stack there. Here comes Graveyard Hate, I'm sure. Yep. If only I had an answer to your entire board at once. Wow, you're a Rashad and Port deck too? That's cool. We played against some cool decks this league. Dallas on 0. Literally have none of those. Is that just to buff the construct? Do they think that stops Force of Negation? Oh, I guess I do have 1-0, which is Engineered Explosives, but I've already used it. Okay. Maybe that makes sense. Feeling pretty comfortable here now, though. I think the only way I lose this match is if I lose power due to the storm that's raging behind me in real life. I'm not going to dredge Loam. I just want spells at this point. I keep drawing lands anyway, no problem. Brainstorm looks pretty good. I have to inform Loam that I'm not going to dredge it 3 separate times here. Thanks, Magic Online. Brainstorm found Dress Down and another Endurance. I don't need this Uro. So Uro is my blue card for Force. Maybe it's just 3 Endurance I don't need, or maybe Endurance, Endurance, Endurance is my plan to win this game. Maybe I don't need Misty Rainforest. I could just put these 2 lands back and Dredge Loam next turn. If I do that, I have green, green, colorless. Oh, I can Uro. I can Dress Down and Endurance or whatever. Okay. I'm gonna pass the turn. I just have so many things I can do here that I don't really need to do any of them. And if they port me in the end step, I'll just cast an Endurance. Nope, not interested. Fair enough. Saga, cool. Endurance eats this construct unless they get another artifact into play. Oh, here it comes. Fearless. Fearless. Either no fear or no respect. Either way. Get rid of this construct. Put your graveyard in the bottom. Go to blocks. Block your 3/3 with my 4/4. I'm no limited expert, but I believe I win that exchange. And still don't really need to cast any of these other cards. I'm dredging Loam. Hit 3 lands, easy money. Let's get them all back. Snow Plains. Don't even think I can use all these lands. I'm gonna have to go to cleanup, unless I main phase an Endurance, which I guess there's not a real reason not to. But whatever. Here's Endurance. And target nobody, or target them, which is the same as targeting nobody in this position. That sounded really savage. You are nobody. You're nothing. I'm doing my best to turn them into that, though. Dress Down is going to be really good when it hits. Oh, I can use Dress Down in the end step to just put Uro into play. Oh, no, they have Caracas. That's the problem with Uro coming into play. It's not that I can't get it there. It's that it won't stay there. Never mind. I need my Wasteland to make that happen. Arn the Great Creator. Do I care? I do, yeah. I'll force pitching Uro on that one. I think Force of Vigor could have controlled most of the things the Karn was going to do, but I could also just keep attacking and not even mess around with that. Brainstorm. Love to draw Brainstorm after you cast a Life from the Loam for 3 last turn. Feels good. It's just a full gassed up Brainstorm here. And attack for my 6. They're going to maze one of them, but get in there a little bit. Fetch and Ponder. Yeah, I think having more forces in my hand makes sense to me. That just sounds like a good idea right now. Hey, I had a force in my... How lucky. I'm going to put the Shark Typhoon on top. I can cycle into the force if I decide I need it. Here's this Urza Saga. What are you going to do with that? Make a 3/3. Boot her up a thing. Full Guide Lantern. Yeah, they had that the whole time, and they went for Grafdigger's Cage twice. Just let me have Loam. I don't buy it. Don't think I agree with all that. Another Cage. Okay, they just really don't want Uro to come into play, but they're not worried about Loam, which is actually winning this game. They have a 5/5. Oh, the thunder rolls as I move into the final turns of this game. Nature is teasing me. Please don't knock out my power. I have this trophy locked up. Make a shark. Do not dredge Loam. Have the Force of Negation in hand now. Here's this Misty Rainforest. I can just attack. No, I can't attack just for 5 flying. I think I want to save my Force of Vigor and just exile this construct 1 for 1 and attack for 6. If they hit me with Soul Guide Lantern, I'm going to Endurance myself. Just want all those cards back in my deck because I like them. Yeah, the 3rd Endurance is going to drop in here. They're at 9. I'm attacking for 9. Oh, they have Inventor's Fair, though. I could hyper aggro Force of Vigor 2 artifacts so they don't gain the life off Inventor's Fair. Soul Guide Lantern to draw a card. Okay, deal. I could hit the 2 cages now, bring back Uro. Oh, no, there's no Uro. Yeah, they just got rid of that. Okay. I think I'm going to take my time. I bet that line would win between Endurance, the Force, like clearing their board, and Force of Negation backup. I think that line would defeat my opponent, but I'm going to just be more careful than that. I would hate to throw it away because I got crazy. Expedition Map, you got it. They have a lot of 1-drops in their deck for being a Chalice of the Void deck. I guess you're supposed to get them with Urza Saga in general. We did see a second Mazavith last game. They revealed their hand after the game was over, and we saw a second Maze. So let's see if they want that or if they want Urza Saga. Saga it is. I'm going to play Endurance and put you to 1. Saga it is. And end of turn Endurance. Yeah, I'll target them. I'm not sure it matters, but I probably didn't want to target anyone there, honestly. But I did target them. Put you to 1. I still have Dress Down to clear out their Saga token blocker next turn. I don't care about any of their permanents for Force of Vigor or Prismatic Ending. I'm just so rolled up that I just don't care. That's a good place to be. That Force of Vigor line would have made this lethal this turn, but again, I'm not afraid of playing cautious. They should know right now if they're dead or not. Do the cards in their hand answer my board or not? They have one of these blocked. They could trade with or eat one of the endurances. The 4 cards in their hand need to answer 2 endurances for 2 mana. Okay, you have a construct. And Walking Ballista, another blowout Dress Down. Don't mind if I do. Kills the construct. Ballista comes in with 0 counters. GG. That's the trophy squad. Bant Field of the Dead. Field of the Dead was good. This came up a number of times. The games go along. You're hitting your land drops. There's not a whole lot of threats. Like I said in the deck tech, I went over this pretty hard, but we saw it pay out in theory. Like really, this one land in the deck showed up and just all Bant wants to do is hit land drops, but then it needs to win somehow. And Burrow's making land drops for you. Loam is making sure you never run out of land drops. The one Wasteland was clutch a number of times. Like this felt really good. It probably still needs some tuning. Some exact numbers need to be pinned down. I'm not sure if Ketria Triome is actually anything we want. But it never hurt me, that league. I had it in play for a while once. Never got to cycle it. Never got to Prismatic Ending for 4. But didn't need to do either of those things. Dress Down continues to impress. And this just felt good. I mean, 5-0, baby, with Bant. And Field of the Dead did what it was supposed to do. It's not like I 5-0'd in spite of having that card in my deck. I won multiple games because I had that card in my deck. And I'm feeling good about it. Life from the Loam, phenomenal card. That felt good. I really don't have more to say because I hit it pretty hard in the deck tech, and everything that I said I was making these changes for ended up happening. So go listen to the deck tech to explain why I did it. And then, I mean, you all watched the games and you saw why it worked. This felt pretty awesome. I am definitely going to be messing around with this moving forward. I'll probably be making changes to the sideboard as things goes on. Like, do we still need Terminus if we have all this other stuff? And is like the Hate Bear sideboard plan really the one you want to be on? And we'll see. The Legacy Pit Open is coming up very soon. Actually, just looking at my release schedule, this might come out right before or right after the Legacy Pit Open weekend. I think this is actually dropping the week of. It's August 31st when I'm recording this, by the way. Like, if you're watching this in mid-September, that's what my release schedule looks like. And I think this is actually going to drop right in time for the Legacy Pit Open. So enjoy that. There's a good chance I'll be doing something very similar to this in that tournament. And hopefully I'll see you there. If not, follow me on Twitter at BoshNRoll for updates on that. And we'll see if Bant Field of the Dead can keep up in real life too. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Brendan, for having me play his deck for the month. Thank you, Spunky, for pushing me to play the Field of the Dead version. Everyone, this was a good collaborative effort. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let's talk about it. If you want to support the channel even more, Patreon and YouTube membership exist. There's merch. All of those links are in the video description below. Thank you so much once again, and I'll see you next time.